Okay, I wanted to talk about partners in crime because I was just looking on Instagram and on my feed. Two gorgeous guys um, came up and they just look so gorgeous, gorgeous creatures. And um, I just love gorgeous creatures. And anyway, they were being partners in crime together. I'm not sure if Vasily Fisk and Andrew Chernyenko call themselves partners in crime. They're partners in metaphysical investigations. Um, I don't have a partner in crime in these physical worlds that I live in. And I haven't had one for many a long time. I don't know how you go about getting a partner in crime. Um, I'm not putting it out there that I'm looking for a partner in crime, because if you put it out there, you tend to push it away. What else am I looking for? Well, if you're a gorgeous creature and you're looking for a partner in crime, I'm not going to rob a bank unless it's in a movie, in which case I could do it for you. But let's see, what else won't I do? Let's see, I don't do heavy lifting, physical lifting. Um, I don't know. Why am I talking about partners in crime? Because I just saw two gorgeous creatures having a good time together, and I don't have a gorgeous creature that sends me flowers and picks me up in a Maserati and takes me to the airport to go on to the Learjet to fly to Mallorca, Spain. If you're someone like that, despite the fact that Harry Weaver and Tyler Mackey talk about how much they hate capitalists, if you're filthy rich and you've got a Maserati and a Learjet and you don't mind me being anti-Illuminati and you want to pick me up and take me for a trip, the actor, Bob, will certainly accept if you're a gorgeous creature. And forget about it. Forget about it. I'm sorry I brought it up. I am so sorry I brought it up. It was just the song, the beginning of the song was the Bare Naked Ladies about pinch me or something, and me seeing the Instagram of two gorgeous guys that were partners in crime, and it looks like they were like off traveling in Europe together, having a wonderful time. No one's ever taken me to Europe. The only people who have taken me on a trip are my parents. And when I took some other people on trips, I think I basically paid their way. What did I get out of it? A little bit of a good time. But no one ever takes me on this kind of a trip. Why? Because I'm a miserable bastard. Why doesn't anyone send me flowers? I've got a horrendous disposition. Oh, I'm very opinionated, and I do speak my mind. Let's see, why don't I have a Maserati? Well, the kind of jobs that I've worked at don't pay tremendous salaries. They tend to be helping other people kind of jobs and not so much helping me. Why don't I have a job helping me? Well, I put two books up on Amazon, and I think I've sold perhaps 5 copies in the past 4 years. My family doesn't buy them, my friends don't buy them. Um, so, why is it that my books are unsuccessful? I guess they're not published by Penguin or Doubleday. They haven't been endorsed by Oprah Winfrey or various other celebrities. I guess they're not valuable to anyone. But that was going to be my meal ticket to a Maserati. I was going to sell, I was going to sell all these books to people that they're going to read them on their smartphones when the smartphones are in airplane mode on the plane. So it's not like I didn't put something out there for the world to enjoy. It's just somehow my better mouse box. It's not a trap, it's a mouse box. You put the mouse in there, and then you put it outside and open it up and let the mouse out. But anyway, my better book for better living does not sell, and therefore I do not have a cash flow to buy a Learjet and a Maserati. So even though I put it out there, and it's not overpriced, but I've tried a higher price and a lower price, but right now it's a very low price. It doesn't seem to matter. No one wants to buy my 2 books. No one wants to hire me as Bob Ross doing enlightenment coaching. No one wants to hire me as an actor to be starring with Leonardo DiCaprio in a Quentin Tarantino movie. No one wants to hire me to replace Chris Cornell as lead singer for Soundgarden. I think what happened with Chris Cornell, I'm pretty sure he faked his death. I think what happened was he got so sick of being a well-known musician that he just needed a change. He needed a change so bad, and the only way he figured that he could get his privacy and ability to enjoy life on planet Earth with his vast scads and scads of money that he made in Soundgarden and Audio Slave is to fake his death. So that's what I think. A lot of the people that you're told are dead, I don't think they're dead. I don't think they're dead at all. I think they got a lot of money and they decided they were going to have a change of scenery, and they didn't want to do whatever it was that made them lots of money anymore, and they didn't want to be known as public figures because they didn't want to be hassled. So perhaps they just arranged to fake their death and still have access to their money, and they change their haircut and their beard or whatever. And maybe they look like the old person, but they said, yeah, I know I look like them, but I'm not that one. Anyway, the idea that they fake their death comes from this movie. It's too bad. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can get it here. It's Eddie and the Cruisers, Michael Paré at Eddie and the Cruisers 2. Eddie Lives. So that's where they got the idea from, I think, or maybe it came even previous to that. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of these celebrities have faked their death just because they didn't want to be celebrities anymore, and they just wanted to enjoy their money and their life without a lot of hassle. Anyways, I'm not a celebrity. I don't have a lot of money. I do not have a partner in crime. No one sends me flowers anymore. They never did in the first place. No one takes me on trips other than my parents when I was young. No one buys me presents. No one even buys me club sodas at the bar because I don't drink beer. But no, they don't buy me that. But I get hit up all the time. Will you give me $20? Will you give me $60? Will you give me $200? Will you buy me a drink? Will you give me smokes? Will you give me a ride? So why is that? Is it some energy I'm putting out that says I'm filthy rich and I just want to give all my small amount of savings to all of you? No, it's not my energy, because I talk to other people that I know, and they all say the same thing. There are leeches everywhere that are constantly hounding you to give these leeches something of yours and nothing in return. And, when you talk to them, what are they spending their money on? Drugs and alcohol, primarily. Why are there so many leeches around? maybe there's nothing better to do that they can afford. With $20 you could buy 4 beers. With $20, you can't go downhill skiing. With $20, you can get a cab, but you can't go very far for $20 in a cab. You certainly cannot make a down payment on even a really cheap old car. I would say primarily the reason why these people are drinking and doing a lot of drugs is because I know a lot of them even have got day jobs. And the thing is that they're paid very poorly. Not enough to afford their own apartment or their own car, but barely enough to buy beer and alcohol and drugs. And then once they've spent all the money, then, they don't have an apartment to go back to, so they just start looking to see if anyone will float them on their crusade of drinking alcohol and more drugs. Why don't they get a better job? Well, I look, and I'm telling you, in my community, it's not very apparent that these kind of jobs are available. Some people say, well, you should go to college and prepare yourself. A lot of these people are not really college material. Are they stupid? No, but they're not really college material. I don't see a lot of these people, for example, wanting to go to college to become a nurse, which pays, maybe $50 an hour. If you make $50 an hour, can you afford a house in my community? By yourself and float a car payment and pay for your children's braces. No, I think you would have to be married to a doctor if you were a nurse in order to do that kind of thing, because inflation in my community is unbelievably high when it comes to housing. Unbelievably high. And why do I see problems with this? Well, I just see a hell of a lot of people who are doing, jobs that need to be done in the community, working in grocery stores, for example, Walmarts, for example, driving cabs, for example. All these things need to be in your community, and yet the people that are doing these jobs cannot really afford to thrive in their own community. So a lot of these are the kind of people that you say, why are there people that have got drug and alcohol problems? It's because they can't afford to go downhill skiing on their day off. They're not paid well enough. By the time they've paid rent and food and, the other various things, there's not enough money to spend on leisure activities. There's not enough money to buy a plane ticket to go to another city, so they never leave town. So I give it to you that supermarkets and Walmarts and taxi cabs and plenty of other jobs that need to be done in the community don't pay enough to their people who are filling these roles. If you are a nurse, are you paid enough? In comparison to support workers, they make more than double of what a support worker does. Do they deserve more than double? No, they don't. They have some specialized knowledge as a nurse, absolutely, but I'm telling you, the support workers that do the heavy lifting, just because they're doing physical labor, should they not be paid as well as a nurse? I think this is a ridiculous concept that is put out there that you have to have, university degrees in order to be able to afford a standard of living where you can afford to at least buy a house in your own community. And then when I look at places like San Francisco and Silicon Valley, I'm told that public service workers like police and fire and ambulance services, paramedics, and nurses cannot afford to live in these kind of communities because the prices are too high. So I am telling you that Western society is broken, broken, broken. Western countries are broken, and why don't I have a partner in crime? Well, I haven't stooped to crime to pay for my lifestyle, and it's not in my nature. But I do understand those who go into liquor stores and steal a Mickey of vodka and then go out on the street and ask if there's anybody willing to pay $40 for it. That happened to me on Sunday night. I didn't steal it. Someone asked me if I wanted to buy a $40 Mickey on the street. And it was because they didn't have any money and they decided to rip off a Mickey. So I do understand it because there is no general support system for people to thrive in Western society. This person, what could they do? I suppose they could maybe be a tow truck driver if they took a course in driving a tow truck. But it wouldn't be enough money to buy a house in our community. And I do not live in San Francisco or Silicon Valley. I live in a backwater small community. If there's any place that should be affordable, it's here, but it is not. So if you can't live in a big center like San Francisco, Silicon Valley, you move to a backwater because it's supposed to be cheaper. It's not. So the rot and the corruption of the capitalist system that we are dominated by has reached these small backwater communities. It's at a point where the imminent collapse of civilization is on our horizon. What's going to happen? Well, all the homeless shelters are already full, so where are these people going to camp? I think if it continues this way, these people are going to start doing home invasions because they want not to steal things from your home, but they want to move in because they need a bedroom and they need a kitchen and a bathroom and a shower. And if you've got one, they're going to start pounding on your door saying, "Let me in, it's 40 below and I can't handle the cold." So this is really the roots of crime. The roots of crime is that some people have got what other people cannot obtain legally. House, car. Now that's not even thriving, that's not sending you to Jamaica for a trip, that's basically giving you what I call the necessities of life. And society will not provide it to people. I know some people say, well, there's welfare for these people and some subsidized. I'm sorry, that is not working for the people I look around at. They are not getting anything that would be called anything other than imprisonment. Imprisonment for being poor. And some people say, well, they're alcoholics, they can't get a job. No, the alcoholism came after the fact when they were already working at the supermarkets and they found they couldn't afford to live on what they're being paid. So alcoholism is a symptom of a society that does not look after all the people. I keep talking about this problem and I don't have a solution. I have told the solution. The solution is we must abolish capitalism. We must abolish ownership of the planet by a small number of people. We must be community-minded and we must look after each other. Everyone must look after everyone. And that's the only way it's going to work, folks. And is it going to happen in my lifetime? Catch the wave. In other words, consider what I'm saying and figure Are you with me or are you against me? I am Harry Weaver. I have no partner in crime, no Maserati. No one sends me flowers, and I don't have a house. But if you want to pick me up in your Maserati and take me to the airport, put me on a Learjet and fly me to Mallorca, if you're a good-looking guy, and you don't have bad breath, and you don't have a dick about your money, okay. I'm Harry Weaver.